Okay, year 8, so welcome to part 2 of the solution. So we've got 8 questions left, so let's get through these ones. So the first one we've got here is our multiplication. So we've got 77 times 9. So we always chunk these, don't we? Okay, so we're going to do, we've got our 70. I don't know why it keeps doing that. And then we've got our 7, okay, because 70 plus 7 equals 77. It's quite conveniently placed line. And then we have got our 9, okay, because we want to times 9 by 70 and 7. So if we do 7 times 9, we get 63. And we've got a 0, so we're going to have to add that in. So we've got 630. And then as we just said, 7 times 9, is 63. So all we need to do is add those two together. So 3 plus 0 is 3, 6 plus 3 is 9, and 6 plus my imaginary 0 is 6. So I should have 693 as my answer there. And the next one's a little bit more confusing, okay, because we've got a 300, we've got a 90, and we've got a 7, okay? So we've got to times it by a little bit more because we've got a 6 up here, okay? Let's put our 6 here. So the first thing we've got to do is our 6 times our 300. And that's nice and simple because we're going to do 6 times 3, which is 18, and then we're going to add our 2 zeros here, okay? Then we're going to do our 6 times our 9, which is 54. And I've got one extra 0, so I'm going to pop that in there. And then I'm going to do my 7 times 6, which is 42. Okay, and then all I've got to do is add those three numbers together, and then I will get my answer to 397 times 6, which is 2,382. Okay, next one then. So we've got some algebra. So we've got 9x plus 4x minus 3x. So let's just imagine x is somethings. Okay, so we've got 9 somethings plus 4 somethings. Going to add those two, would equal 13 somethings. But I've still got to minus 3 somethings. So 13 somethings minus 3 somethings would equal 10x. Okay, so 10 somethings. Next one then, a little bit more complicated because this time I've got A's and I've got B's, but we're just going to do them separately. So I've got A's and I've got B's. So I've got 10 A's and I've got 7 A's. So if I add my 10 A's to my 7 A's, I'm going to have 17 A's. But B's are something completely different, okay? So I've got 3 B's and I've got 6 B's. So if I add my 3 B's to my 6 B's, I've got my 9 B, okay? And they are just added together there. So we should have 17A plus 9B. The next one is just some adding, okay? So the sensible thing here is to make sure they're written below each other. So I've got 37,959 and I want to add 32,050. So as you can see, I've written the numbers perfectly below one another, okay? So first of all, I'm going to do 0 add 9. Now that equals 9. But 5 plus 5 equals 10. Now if it's a 2-digit number, I'm going to carry my 1 below the next column and I'm going to put my 0 there. And I've got to add this to the next column. So 9 plus 0 is 9, plus my 1 is 10. So I'm going to have to put another 1 down here and put my 0 here. Now I've got a 7 and a 2, which equals 9, but I've got another 1 here, so again it equals 10. So I'm going to put my 1 there and my 0 here. This time I've got 3 plus 3 is 6, plus my 1 is 7. So I should have 70,009 as my answer. Question 18 is exactly the same again. So nice and simply, we're just going to write them out nice and neatly so they're underneath each other. So we've got 24,509 and we're adding 19,451. So 1 plus 9 is 10, so I'm going to carry my 1 down here and put my 0 here. 0 plus 5 is 5, but plus my 1, I've got 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. Oh, I've got a 9 and a 4, so I've got 13 here, so I'm going to have to carry my 1 over here, pop my 3 there. And then I've got 2 plus 1 is 3, plus my last one is 4. So I should have 43,960 as my answer for question 18. Okay, so on to the last couple of questions. So this is all about BIDMAS, okay? So we've just got to do things in the correct order. So let's talk ourselves through BIDMAS. So B for brackets, no, we don't have any of those. I for indices, we don't have any of those. D for divide, we don't have any of those. M, oh, we've got a multiplication, so we're going to do those first, okay? So 5 times 2 is 10. And then I do my final bit, okay? So I add my 2. So that would equal 12. Okay, so 12 is the answer there. Next one then, okay, so we've got 5 times 4 plus 3. So again, we know that multiplication comes before addition, so we're going to do these first. So 5 times 4 is 20, then I'm going to add my 3, and that would equal 23. Okay, so that's my final question answered there. Hopefully you've marked them and you've done really well. If not, hopefully you've corrected them. Okay, I hope you've had a lovely week. Hope you have a lovely weekend.